Hey friends, it is Jen Gray, your host of Be Genuine with Jen podcast. We're together. We will discover the power of authenticity, mindset, and personal growth. I am super excited for you to join me today on episode 4 of the show. Today, we're going to dive through this question: what if? I believe that your life is a reflection of that question. I think every single day we ask this to ourselves, or we subconsciously answer this, and I genuinely believe it navigates us on whichever journey our life takes. I think we have a life of adventure or a life of safety. I think we have a life of comfort or a life of being all in and being successful in whatever avenue that looks like. And so we're going to really dive through that today. But I want you to think about yourself. I want you to think about, first of all, the fact that you're even on a podcast means that you already see a need of upping your life, right? Leveling up your life. And the fact that you're on my podcast is an absolute honoring, humbling deal. I simply exist to add value to whoever I can add value to. Whoever resonates with my story is where my power comes from, right? Like that's where I get to grow and to add value. And that's what for you, right? Like you're not going to be everything for everybody, right? And if you are, then you lose yourself. And yesterday I was listening to Eric Rock. If you guys do not follow him, follow him. Oh my word. He is such a man of passion, a man of heart, of integrity. And I was just blown away by what he was saying yesterday. But ultimately, it is really what guided me on what we're going to talk about today. And so I want to jump right in here. But this is the question that we're going to answer. Oh, it's totally backwards. That's fun. But you put it in the mirror and you'll be able to see it. And if you are listening to this audio, you're like, Jen, we can't see it, that we're on a podcast. I know, you're right. Check me out on YouTube. That's where I'm live and in person if you do want to see my face when I speak. But thank you guys for tuning in either way. What if? I want to give you a scenario that happened way back when I was in high school, which was a lot more years ago than I would probably like to admit. But I went parasailing. I don't know if you guys have ever been parasailing, but I was in the Gulf. I was on a family vacation to Panama City Beach, and I love adventure. Like I still never have gone skydiving, and even though I have 4 kids, I think with the right person, I still would do it. All right, like I love a thrill. I hate heights. But I love a thrill, even though most thrills require heights. But it's okay. You got to move past it, right? So I went parasailing, and I was so super excited. And so I was too young to go by myself. So my dad actually had to go with me. And so we go out on a boat. If you've ever been parasailing, you get your life jacket on, you go out on a boat. The boat takes you way off the shore. And for this excursion, we got to decide what level of excitement we were going to enjoy with this adventure. And so like the first level was like, you went up like 500 feet, then you go like 750 feet. But like the ultimate was 1,000 feet in the air. And not only did you go 1,000 feet in the air, but in the middle of your journey, once you got to the peak, they actually brought you back down just so you could dip your feet in the water, and then they pulled you back up. So that's when we went to. We're like, if we're going to do this, like let's just go all in, right? And so we did that. So I get in there, I'm on there, and I'm like, in this harness, in this whole deal with my life jacket on, and you're like attached by this like big, huge rope, basically. That's like this pulley system. I don't know all the technical things, but you get it. And so then the boat driver continues to, of course, go with the boat, and then they let you out, right? They just let you float up with your big, huge parachute up into the air attached to the boat. So my dad and I are on there. So he's like behind me. I'm in front of him. We're like on this harness buoy thing, whatever. And we're going up, and it's like gorgeous, like beautiful day. I mean, I love the beach. I love everything about the beach, everything about the ocean, all the things. And so we're going up, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And so we're getting pretty high. And then we start to go down. Well, I'm thinking this whole time, right? Like, okay, awesome. This is where we get to put our feet into the water. And like, we've already reached the peak. Now we're going down for our little like dip time, right? So we're going. And so we're kind of going, towards the water. And I'm feeling like, and this is really fast, but still like not thinking anything negative, right? I'm still just thinking this is like a thrill. Like I'm thinking this peaceful little like, oh, dip water. No, we're like flying towards the water. And so the parachute, kind of catches the wind. So but we're still going pretty fast. And my dad realizes way before me that we are not just simply going for a dip. We are free falling 1,000 feet attached to a parachute into the ocean. And so thankfully, I don't realize it soon. I don't realize it at all, in fact. And so I never got to panic. I just am like enjoying the thrill. I'm like, yes, this is the best roller coaster ever. And so we go and go. And then next thing I know, like right before we hit, I'm like, things are not okay because more than my feet is about to hit this water. Like there is no way this boat captain is about to get me back up in the water fast enough for me not to just like crash into it. And so I'm like, okay, I don't think everything is okay. Well, it didn't matter what I thought because everything was not okay. And next thing I know, I am way, way, way deep in the ocean, completely like intermingled and intertwined in all of the ropes and the harnesses and the parachute even and all the things. And all I remember is thinking, just swim to the top, just swim to the top, just swim to the top, Jen, just swim to the top. And so I'm like, contacts in, everything, like I don't even care. You're just like adrenaline looking up to the ocean thinking, okay, I see the light. I'm just going to swim towards the light. I've never swam so fast in my life. And I'm like, I didn't even like get a good breath because y'all, I didn't think I was going 20 feet into the ocean. Okay. So we get back up and like everybody on the boat's like panicking, like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. Like what in the world happened? And then the boat captain is like pissed. He's like so mad. And I'm like, what's he mad about? Like, I mean, we're alive. That's a big deal, right? He was mad because the rope broke. Therefore, that meant the rest of his day with this whole beach full of vacationers, he was not going to make any more money because his boat rope broke. Okay. It just literally came unhooked. It literally, instead of it stopping when we got to 1,000 feet, it just kept coming out. And so we were just free floating, completely detached from the boat into the ocean. And so he's focused on that. I'm focused on, hey, we're alive, dude. That's kind of a big deal. And then to redeem it, he says, hey, you guys, I got a buddy of mine. He's coming out here with his boat. And hey, you guys, since you didn't quite get what you paid for, you guys can go back up in the parasail. And my dad's like, Jen, this is all you. Like, if you want to go, we'll go. And I'm like, Dad, I only got half of our trip. Like we only got to go halfway. So we ended up going up. It was a little more nerve-wracking the second time around. But what was funny was when I get back to the shore, when my mom sees us, she's like, oh my goodness, you are never going to guess what happened. There were some people that also went parasailing, and listen, we watched that parasail fly all the way into the ocean, but it looked like they were okay. And at that moment, I realized my sweet little mom had zero idea that her daughter was the one free falling into the ocean 1,000 feet. And when she found that out, she like almost had a heart attack on the beach. But it was better for her to find out afterwards, right? Because it was like finding out the end of the story before you even know the middle of the story. And I'm like, but we were fine, Mom. We actually went back up again. And but here's what's powerful about that story. That story is what happens in our life. We have people around us that do not even know the dreams and the passions that are boiling inside of us. Nobody knew the passion of me like wanting to go parasailing. Like I so wanted to do that I would even risk my life knowing that I could get hurt because I just, had experienced this, like, I won't say near death, but I mean, it was scary, right? But like I wanted it. That wouldn't have made sense to anybody else. Like if my mom had known that, she would have been like, heck to the no, you're not going and doing that again. I signed one waiver. I'm not signing another waiver. Like there's no way you're not doing that. Because she loved me and she wants to protect me and she wants to take care of me, right? But life is different on the side of where you're like out there on the parasail, ready to chase your dreams. And if you listen to the wrong voice, you're going to stay comfortable too long. And I don't know about you guys, but I hear voices all the time that are like, oh, stop the hustle culture. Oh, like just rest and just, like don't be so like all in all the time. And you know what I learned, y'all? Those are not people that are having the kind of impact that I want my life to impact. No knock against them, no judgment, no anything. Their life journey just looks different. Okay? Like if you have a calling on your life that is a global calling that you know you're supposed to impact more people, you know you're supposed to set a different example for your family and for your kids, you know that you're supposed to do a roadmap that is not safe but leads you to a major trajectory of impact. If you know that, then you've got to listen to voices that are going to get you towards that. So that when you read this question, what if? People on that boat that were looking at me when I was going again are like, what if it happens again? I'm like, well, I survived it the first time. I guess I'll survive it the next time. Like I've always been kind of a little bit of crazy daredevil, whatever you want to call me. Maybe some of you guys can relate. And some of you guys have been like, heck to the no, Jen. There's no way I would have gone, but that's fine. You know you. You do you, right? But here's why this question is so powerful. If your mind constantly goes to the worries of, what if I fail? What if I don't keep up with this workout regimen again? What if I fail this diet again? What if this business really isn't what's right for me? What if these people really aren't? What if this relationship really isn't the best? What if this decision really isn't the best? And I'm not talking about seeking wisdom in your decisions. That's a different conversation. But I'm talking about allowing fear to enable you to completely paralyze yourself from moving forward. I'm talking to you with the decisions in your life where you let fear keep you comfortable. You know what I think about comfort, you guys? I think comfort sitting on a couch watching Netflix, not doing anything with my life. I don't know about you, but I don't want to trade me working until midnight on building my dreams and building a platform and building a way to add value to people across the freaking globe. I don't want to trade that for some comfortable Friday nights on a couch watching TV. That's not the kind of comfort that I'm looking for. And some of you guys who are listening to this, that's where you're at. And you're like, Jen, I've been looking for someone else who thinks like this. I get it. That's why I started this podcast. I was looking for people like this because I had something burning inside my soul for years and years and years and years and years. And I dabbled in this and I dabbled in that. And life took me one direction and one relationship failed, another relationship failed. And made all kind of crazy decisions, had to rebuild and rebuild and rebuild. But that like burning passion inside of me never dimmed. I've just had to like come back to the drawing board and say, okay, I want to impact more people. Well, now my story looks even different. What did I learn from it? I'm not going to let my journey be a setback. How in the world can my journey prepare me for even something greater? Yes. Am I in a really weird season of life right now? Absolutely. But guess what? That can even push you backwards or it can cause you to learn and propel you forwards. What if? What if you decided that you were done being comfortable? What if you decided that you were done convincing yourself that, yes, safe's probably the better way to go? What if you decided you could fly? That's something Jessie Lee taught over and over and over and over and over. What if you fly? It was a quote from a book that she read a long time ago. And it changed my whole mindset. Because guess what? What if nobody listens to this podcast? What if they do? What if I can't build something that I'm proud of? What if I'm not in the right industry? What if I am? What if you never get a book deal, Jen? What if you never get to write a book? What if you never get to speak on platforms, Jen? What if you never get to impact another person? What if people think you're a fake? What if people think you're an imposter? What if people think you've lost your mind and you're not somebody that is worth following? What if they do? What if I connect with one mom who starts to show up for herself in a way that completely changes her family's life? What if I connect with a business owner that realizes that his heart for his people is not a heart of kindness right now, and he's reacting out of stress, but decided, you know what? I now believe that kindness and success work in the same boat. I'm going to leave a legacy of leadership that's way bigger than the number of figures that are in my bank account. I want to impact people. Maybe I can help shift somebody's mind that life is way bigger than the comfortable lives that we're sometimes convinced to live. Yeah, do you need to rest? Is self-care a big deal? 100%. If you look at my stories, if you watch me, every single day, I am reading, I am working out. I've added in grounding. If you know what that is, research it. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Like the the power and like the what's that called? Like the open-mindedness and like the brain fuel that I feel when I'm at the ocean. Like literally, I thought I had to go to the ocean to feel that. And then I'd start watching people who were like, take your shoes off, go walk in the grass, and the energy just is different. Use it at the time to pray, use it at the time to meditate, and literally you are going to be energized. And I'm like, y'all crazy, it's cold outside. And then I tried it. And now I'm like, yeah, I get it. Get it. Don't knock it till you try it. So here's what you've got to decide. You've got to decide which voices are you going to keep listening to. And maybe life feels really, really heavy right now because you're just in the wrong circumstances. You know how I know that? Because I was in a personal development journey, in a relationship, in a place, in a season of life that it was draining me more faster than I could fill myself up. And here's where your power comes from. If you can relate to me, here's where I want you to have your power. Don't blame on anybody else. I want you to stay true to you, and I want you to rid your life of what you have to rid your life from, and hold tight to what you need to hold tight to. Hold tight to the parts of you that is a legacy you want to leave behind. It is nobody else's fault. You can learn and you can leave. But what I learned is that I felt this constant overwhelm, this constant lack of peace, this constant anxiety. I was literally becoming someone that I didn't even know. And I looked in the mirror and I was being challenged by the group of people I was around even then. Look in the mirror, be somebody that you're proud of. And I would shout it till I was blue in the face. But I wasn't looking in the mirror. And then when I had the guts enough to look in the mirror, and I'm like, no, Jen, you're living for legacy. And right now you're living for the wrong legacy. But guess what, Jen? Guess what, Jen? You've got one life and you're still living it. The fact that you're woke up today is an opportunity to build a legacy that you're proud of. That may take humility. That may take a whole lot of things. But here's what I want to encourage you guys. I want you to ask yourselves this question. What's holding you back? What if? What if? What if you fly? What if you go back up in that parasail and have the time of your life and see a scenery you could never see from anywhere except if you went to those heights in a parasail over the Atlantic Ocean? What if? That's all I want you to think about today, is not all of the fears that have held you back for too long, not all of the doubts, not all of the small-minded people around you. And listen, you need all kinds of people around you, but you've got to be careful about the voices that you will let affect the path that you're headed on. You can love people and you can hear people, but not take on what they're saying. Because there are plenty of people in your life that are going to want you to stay comfortable. They don't get it. They're happy living their 9 to 5 and going home and having dinner and watching TV for 3 hours and going to bed and rinsing and repeating. That's fine. Our world needs people like that. But the fact, again, that you're on a podcast trying to level up your life, I don't think that's you. So are your actions in alignment with the attitude that you have to level up and 10x your life? What if you fly? And I believe it. I believe that if you commit right now and you decide, I will live a life that I'm proud of, and you will shed the things that are not serving you in the areas that you are trying to level up, I'm telling you, there's no what if you fail, it's what if you fly. Shift that mindset, and I cannot wait to watch you freaking soar to heights that you never even thought were possible. If you're not following me on other platforms, I would love to connect with you. I'd love for you to introduce yourself. Tell me where you're from and how you found me. I'm Jen Gray on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. I'm Jen Gray on Facebook. Life's not meant to be lived alone, but it's so much powerful when we're living with the right other-minded people. I would love to connect. I would love to know your journey. I would love to know your story. I don't care what business. If we're in completely separate businesses, it doesn't matter. This is about life, and it's way different than how we make money. What we can grow from is the mindsets each of us have and how we can make each other better. Being a part of Jessie Lee's Accelerator has forever changed my life. And what I want to do is continue building a community of people, of like-minded people who simply want to grow together, who are simply decided or have decided in their life, I'm no longer living with the what if I could fail. I'm only living with the what if I can fly. And I'm going to live every day on purpose for a purpose, because I know God made me on purpose and I have a passion deep inside, and I'm not stopping until I see the vastness of impact I can leave on this planet. It's not just about us, y'all. There's a lot of people who need you. They need you to live audaciously. Let's do this, y'all. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. I would be an absolute honor if you would. If you found any value, to drop me a 5-star review, leave a comment so that I can shout it out, I can share it. You guys are incredible. And I love you. And that may seem super odd to you, especially if you're listening to this audio. You're like, you don't even know who's listening. Y'all, people across this world hate people for absolutely no reason. And I will choose every single day to love everyone in my path for absolutely no reason until we meet each other and I find millions of reasons to fall in love with you. I believe you. I believe in you. I'm always cheering you on to live your most authentic life. Y'all, let's be genuine. Until next week.